Welcome to the roundup for Matchday 13 of the Premier League. Some really exciting matches this weekend. Going to delve into each one individually, so let's get started. Thiago's late double fires Brentford past Burnley in a dramatic 3-1 win at the G-Tech Community Stadium. The first half was cagey with Brentford pressing, but Burnley's defence holding firm. Igor Thiago finally broke the deadlock from the penalty spot in the 81st minute. Burnley struck back almost immediately though, with Zion Fleming converting his from the spot just 4 minutes later. But Thiago responded instantly, smashing home his second to restore Brentford's lead in the 86th minute. Dango Ouattara then wrapped up the points in stoppage time with a composed finish after Jordan Henderson's clever ball had created the chance for Ouattara, capping a strong midfield display. Brentford's attacking persistence finally broke Burnley's resistance. After a tense and frustrating evening for the home side, Burnley had battled hard, but their defensive lapses in the closing stages proved costly as the game slipped away. Brentford's victory was a statement response to recent frustrations, as they avoided repeating the habit of dropping points from winning positions by striking back immediately after Burnley's equaliser. Igor Thiago's brace showcased his clinical edge, taking him to 11 goals this season and underlining his importance as one of the league's most informed strikers. The Bees dominated the game statistically, registering 14 attempts and an XG of 2.75 compared to Burnley's limited threat, reflecting their control at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Manager Keith Andrews praised Thiago's consistency, stressing that if he maintains this level, the goals will keep coming, while backing the forward's dream of a Brazil call-up. Brentford's home record remains a major strength, with 5 wins and 15 goals scored at the G-Tech. They now face a stern test away at Arsenal in their next fixture. Burnley showed resilience for much of the game, holding Brentford at bay until the final 10 minutes, but their inability to sustain concentration proved costly. The Clarets' attacking struggles remain a major concern, only 6 shots attempted, continuing their record as the lowest shooting side in Premier League history since Opta began tracking this data. Zion Fleming was again a bright spot, scoring his 4th goal in 5 matches, but he lacked support from teammates in creating consistent chances. Scott Parker admitted his frustration, saying the team got ourselves back in the game, but then we conceded straight from kick-off. It did not give us the platform to build, highlighting their fragility after equalising. Burnley's 4th straight defeat, leaving them with just 10 points from 13 games and a crucial fixture against Crystal Palace next. Parker will need more from his attackers to hold their slide. Phil Foden delivered in stoppage time as Manchester City edged Leeds 3-2 in a thriller at the Etihad. City struck in this one instantly, Phil Foden steering home inside the opening minute, for Josko Gvardiol doubled the lead midway through the first half with a powerful finish. Leeds struggled before the break, but they found life after half-time through substitute Dominic Calvert-Lewin's close-range goal. Lucas Numcha then converted from the penalty spot in the 68th minute, levelling the contest and bringing Leeds right back into it. Erling Haaland was kept quiet as Leeds' defence grew in confidence and City's frustration mounted. But in stoppage time, Foden produced a composed left-foot strike to snatch the win. City's early dominance giving way to a tense battle as Leeds fought back bravely, but ultimately Foden's decisive double proved the difference in a pulsating encounter at the Etihad. Manchester City's performance highlighted both their attacking quality and some of their defensive vulnerability, surrendering a 2-goal lead before Foden's late intervention rescued them. Foden's brace underlined his growing importance, with Guardiola praising his finishing so quick and insisted he must always be close to the box to influence games. Erling Haaland's wait for his 100th Premier League goal continues, with Guardiola stressing the need to manage his physical workload and carefully to keep him fresh for the title race. Pep admitted Leeds' tactical switch caused them problems, saying long balls to Calvert-Lewin and Numcha running behind was always a struggle, but credited his side's persistence in finding the winner. City have now won 6 straight home league matches, their best run since the 22-23 season, and next face a test against Fulham away as they look to prove their consistency in the title chase. Leeds struggled badly in the first half, relying on long balls to Dan James and Lucas Numcha without support, which left them unable to retain possession. Manager Daniel Farke making a bold adjustment at half-time, switching to a 3-5-2 and introducing a more direct approach with 2 strikers. The change paid off as Calvert-Lewin and Numcha both found the net, unsettling City, sparking hopes of a remarkable comeback. Farke's decisions showed bravery under pressure, with his side responding well to criticism about their lack of adventure and proving that they can trouble top opposition. Despite the late heartbreak from Phil Foden's winner, Leeds' spirited fight back offers encouragement ahead of their next tough fixture against Chelsea. Sunderland staged a stunning comeback from 2 goals down to beat Bournemouth 3-2 at the Stadium of Light. Bournemouth struck early on, Amina Adley finishing from close range in the 7th minute. Tyler Adams then produced a spectacular long-range strike from inside the centre circle to make it 2-0. Sunderland pulled one back on the half-hour mark, Enzo Lefebvre converting from the penalty spot, but just seconds after the restart, Bertrand Traoré drilled in a low strike to level the score. Bournemouth thought they'd regain the lead, but Evan Nilsson's effort was ruled out for offside. Substitute Brian Broby completed the turnaround in the 69th minute, heading in Lefebvre's corner. The Cherries pressed late on, Marcus Tavernier rattled the crossbar in their search for an equaliser. The visitors' hopes ended in stoppage time when Lewis Cook was sent off for elbowing Noe Siddiqui. Sunderland's comeback from 2 goals down was historic. It's the first time they've ever overturned such a deficit to win in the Premier League. The fight back underlined their resilience, while Enzo Lefebvre's penalty and Bertrand Traoré's strike setting the stage before Brian Broby's decisive header. Broby's impact off the bench has been crucial this season, with all of his goals and assists coming in pivotal moments to either level or put Sunderland ahead. Regis Lebris praised his side's strong character, stressing many teams would have given up, but Sunderland kept fighting and deserved the victory. The Black Cats' unbeaten home record continues, with 15 points already collected at the Stadium of Light. They now prepare for a tough away trip to Liverpool at Anfield. Bournemouth will see the loss as a huge missed opportunity, having led 2-0 inside 15 minutes before defensive lapses and poor discipline turned the game against them. Tyler Adams' spectacular strike from inside his own half was a rare highlight, but the Cherries failed to build on their early momentum, allowing Sunderland back into the contest. Their collapse was compounded by indiscipline, Lewis Cook sent off late on, and Marcus Senesi and David Brooks now suspended after picking up their 5th bookings of the season. Manager Antonio Iraola admitted his side lost his heads a little bit with the referee, criticised costly decisions, reflecting frustration at how quickly the control slipped away. Bournemouth's form has dipped with 3 defeats in their last 4 league matches. With Everton up next at home, followed by Chelsea and Manchester United, the pressure is mounting on both players and coach to respond. Newcastle end their long wait for an away win, crushing Everton 4-1 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Newcastle struck inside the opening minute as Malik Thiaw powered in a header from Lewis Miley's corner, and Miley then doubled the lead in the 25th minute after Jordan Pickford failed to deal with the effort straight at him. Just before half-time, Nick Voltemada added a third with a composed lob following Anthony Elanga's assist, and Thiaw grabbed the second of the night with another header in the 58th minute to make it 4. Everton finally responded in the 39th minute, Dewsbury Hall finishing smartly from James Tarkowski's pass, but Newcastle's aggressive start and clinical finishing left Everton chasing shadows throughout the first half. The visitors continued to dominate aerial battles and punish defensive lapses to keep control of the game. Everton's late consolation was well taken, but the damage had long been done, Newcastle running out emphatic winners. Everton never recovered from conceding inside the opening minute, with defensive errors from Michael Keane and Eregbunam compounding their problems before Jordan Pickford's mistake, gifting Newcastle a second. Despite spells of possession, the Toffees were repeatedly undone by Newcastle's physicality and pace, Anthony Elanga easily bypassing Eregbunam in the build-up to Nick Voltemada's third. Dewsbury Hall proved a consolation with his 3rd league goal of the season, continuing his best ever scoring run in the top flight, but manager David Moyes admitted we were beaten by a far better team. Newcastle were more powerful than us all night, while stressing the need to move on quickly. Everton have now lost heavily in both of their home defeats at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, and with Bournemouth up next away, Moyes will demand a swift response to avoid slipping further down the table. Newcastle finally ended their 236-day wait for an away league win, producing a commanding performance that showcased both tactical tweaks and renewed confidence. Malik Thiaw's 2-headed goals from set pieces highlighted their threat from different sources, while Lewis Miley impressed with a goal and assist, becoming the 2nd youngest Magpie to achieve that feat in the Premier League. Aaron Ramsdale looked assured on his first league start for the club, deputising for the injured Nick Pope, while Elanga and Voltemada added pace and cutting edge in attack. Eddie Howe called it a massive win, the first away win of the season, stressing the importance of back-to-back victories after beating Manchester City, praising the freshness and goal threat across the team. Newcastle's biggest away win against a non-promoted side since April 2023 lifts belief, Voltemada back on the score sheet, and a home fixture against Tottenham next, offering another chance to build momentum. Fulham stunned Spurs with a lightning start, sealing a 2-1 win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Fulham struck inside 4 minutes, Kenny Tete's deflected effort finding the net, and just 2 minutes later, Harry Wilson punished a Vicario error with a brilliant long-range finish. The visitors nearly added a third when Samuel Chukwueze hit the post in a dominant opening spell. Spurs struggling badly in the first half, creating little and hearing boos from their home crowd at the break. Mohamed Kudus giving Tottenham hope in the 59th minute, a superb volley from Lucas Bergvaul's pass, but despite improved pressure after the interval, Spurs failed to break down Fulham's organised defence. Their early blitz proved decisive, their composure in front of goal setting the tone for the contest, Tottenham's fight back falling short, leaving the visitors celebrating a rare and hard-earned victory in North London. Tottenham's disastrous start saw them concede twice inside 6 minutes, Vicario's misjudged clearance leading to Harry Wilson's stunning long-range strike. The first half summed up Spurs' inconsistency. They produced 16 open play crosses without finding a teammate and failed to create a single realistic chance. Kudus' second half volley offered hope, but overall the side looked toothless in attack and a bit sloppy defensively, continuing their Jekyll and Hyde form. Thomas Frank admitted we lost in the first 6 minutes. The second half was much better, hopefully something we can use to learn, while defending Vicario against boos from his own supporters. Spurs have now suffered 10 home league defeats in 2025, their joint most in a calendar year. With Newcastle up next, pressure is mounting to halt their poor recent run. Fulham's blistering opening 20 minutes proved decisive, with Kenny Tete's strike and Harry Wilson's stunning long-range finish giving them a rare early cushion away from home. Samuel Chukwueze impressed on his first Premier League start, setting up the opener, hitting the post and constantly troubling Spurs' defence with his pace and direct play. Despite not registering a shot for an hour after their early blitz, Fulham showed composure and defensive resilience to protect their lead under sustained pressure. Manager Marco Silva praised Chukwueze's impact, saying he started because he deserved it, another great performance, while also lauding Wilson's difficult finish and the team's collective effort. This was Fulham's first win at Tottenham in 12 years and only their second away victory of the season. A huge test up next though as they host Manchester City at Craven Cottage. Manchester United fight back at Selhurst Park, overturning a deficit to beat Crystal Palace at 2-1. It was Palace who took the lead in the 36th minute. Jean-Philippe Mateta converted a twice-taken penalty after his first kicked his standing foot. United struggled in the first half, with Palace controlling their possession and creating the better chances. But in the second half, United stepped up. Joshua Zirkzee levelled 9 minutes after the restart, smashing in his first league goal in a year. Mason Mount struck in the 63rd minute, driving Bruno Fernandes' clever free-kick pass into the corner. Palace tried to respond, but denied by disciplined United defending and sharp keeping. Fernandes was central to both goals, showing vision and composure in key attacking moments. He now has more assists than Paul Scholes. United's turnaround highlighted their resilience, shifting their momentum after a poor opening half. Palace's bright start faded, and their missed opportunities left them empty-handed despite early promise. Palace made history as Mateta's twice-taken penalty was the first in the Premier League under the new rule, but despite the landmark moment, they failed to turn it into points against United. Their struggles reflect a wider issue of balancing European commitments with domestic form, having failed to win any of their 4 league matches following Conference League fixtures. Oliver Glasner's criticised the club's lack of summer investment again after selling Eberechi Eze, stressing we missed the chance to play an even better season in the summer. Injuries and fatigue are mounting, with Ismail Assar, their top scorer with 8 goals, sidelined now with an ankle problem and soon to depart for AFCON, leaving a major gap in attack. Palace sits 9th in the table, only 2 points off 5th, and with a Carabao Cup quarter-final and Conference League knockout push ahead, their next Premier League fixture against Brighton will be crucial to try and build some new momentum. Manchester United's comeback was defined by Zirkzee's first league goal in a year, a powerful strike that may revive his confidence and future prospects at Old Trafford. Mason Mount adding the second soon after, capitalising on Bruno Fernandes' quick-thinking free kick, as United punished Palace's fatigue following their midweek European fixture. Arim highlighted the importance of pace and intensity in the second half, praising Zirkzee's improved hold-up play and stressing that his influence goes beyond just scoring. Bruno Fernandes, meanwhile, lauded both goals as unbelievable, noting that Zirkzee repeated a finish they'd practiced in training, while also surpassing Paul Scholes in Premier League assists. The win lifted United into the top 6, with goals now being shared amongst the squad, 7th in the end after the Arsenal-Chelsea game, and their next fixture against West Ham offers a chance to build momentum in the race for Europe. Boubacar Kamara's strike lights up Villa Park as Aston Villa edge Wolves 1-0 in the derby. The first half was tight, with Wolves threatening through Jorgen Strand-Larsen's disallowed goal. Yerson Mosquera coming the closest before the break, his header tipped onto the bar by Emi Martinez. Villa struggled to break down Wolves' defence with few clear chances in the opening hour, and the breakthrough came in the 67th minute as Kamara drilled John McGinn's pass into the top corner. Wolves pushed forward after falling behind, forcing Martinez into further saves to preserve the lead, as Villa's midfield worked tirelessly to retain control after a nervy opening spell from the visitors. The match was defined by fine margins, with Villa seizing their only one moment of quality to decide it. Wolves showed fight and created openings, but their lack of cutting edge again proved costly in a tense derby. Aston Villa once again relied on spectacular long-range shooting, with over half of their league goals this season coming from outside the box, a strength that could become a weakness if those efforts dry up. Watkins' struggle continued with another blank on coming off the bench, while Donyell Malen's recent scoring run highlights the lack of consistent, reliable finisher in Emery's squad. But Kamara's decisive strike reflected their ability to find moments of quality in games, even when they struggle or to dominate or create clear openings. Unai Emery praised his side's resilience, saying we're better than being resilient, consistent and demanding, while emphasising the importance of their strong home form as a fortress. Despite underlying stats placing them near the bottom of Opta's expected goals table, Villa sit fourth in the league and next face a midweek test, while maintaining momentum will be crucial. Wolves created the better chances, while Yerson Mosquera's header tipped onto the bar and Jorgen Strand Larsson's goal ruled out by VAR, but once again lacked the decisive quality to turn pressure into points. Their inability to find a player capable of producing a magic moment contrasted sharply with Villa's long-range strike, underlining the fine margins that continue to cost them. The defeat extended Wolves' winless start to 13 games, leaving them dangerously close to Sheffield United's record of 17 without victory, despite showing heart and commitment. Rob Edwards praised the fight and organisation, saying we showed a good side of ourselves today, but football's about winning, that's what we're missing. With Pereira already gone, confidence fragile, Wolves must convert performances into results quickly, starting with their next fixture against Nottingham Forest, if they are to dream at all of survival. Brighton strike twice to seal a 2-0 win at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest. Brighton dominated the early stages, forcing goal line clearances and testing Forest keeper Matt Sells. Morgan Gibbs-White nearly stunned the visitors with a volley against the run of play. Just before half-time, Maxime de Kuiper arrived unmarked to slot home and give Brighton the lead. Forest did improve after the break, Igor Jesus denied by Bart Verbruggen's sharp save, and Diego Gomez also went close for Brighton, only to be stopped brilliantly by Sells. The decisive moment came in the 88th minute when Stefanos Tsitsipas pounced on a defensive error to score. Brighton's persistence and control throughout the match eventually broke Forest's resistance. Forest did show fight in that second half, but they lacked the cutting edge to turn pressure into goals. Forest's 5-game unbeaten run was snapped as they failed to convert 19 shots into goals, with only 3 efforts on target despite sustained second half pressure. Morgan Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus came closest, but poor finishing and Verbruggen's saves left Dyche's side frustrated in their first home defeat under his tenure. Dyche admitted we started awfully, we never got to grips with what they were trying to do, before praising his team's improved energy and tactical grip after the opening 20 minutes. He stressed the importance of basics, lamenting the soft goal conceded before half-time, and insisting Forest must maintain focus for the full 95 minutes to avoid costly lapses. Sitting 16th, just 1 point above the relegation zone, Forest now face bottom-side Wolves at Molineux, before Dyche returns to Everton, needing sharper finishing to climb clear. Brighton's persistence was rewarded, with Maxime de Kuiper striking before half-time and Stefanos Tsitsipas sealing victory late on, extending their unbeaten run to 4 matches. Tsitsipas' composed finish marked his first Premier League goal, a breakthrough moment for the 19-year-old Greek striker who joined from Nuremberg last summer. His cameo highlighted the depth in Herzl's squad, with Danny Welbeck in strong form but now facing competition from a hungry young forward eager for more minutes. Herzl can take encouragement from the balance in attack, with Brighton showing they can rotate options while maintaining their push for European qualification. The Seagulls climb to 5th in the table with the win, and next face Aston Villa, where consistency and squad competition will be key to sustaining their rise. Liverpool revived their form at the London Stadium, beating West Ham 2-0 with Alexander Isak's first league goal for the club. The first half was subdued, Liverpool controlling possession but unable to break down the Hammers' defence. Isak finally broke the deadlock on the hour mark, firing in a half-touch volley from Cody Gakpo's cross, a really good finish. West Ham's hope of a response was damaged late on when Lucas Paquetá was sent off for dissent, having been booked just moments earlier for the same thing. Liverpool sealed the victory in stoppage time as Gakpo finished smartly from Joe Gomez's assist. Florian Wirtz was better in midfield, he linked better with Isak as well, creating openings, probably one of his better displays for the Reds. Alphonse Areola kept West Ham in the game with key saves, but his side offered little attacking threat. Liverpool's reshaped attack with Salah on the bench looked sharper, with Isak and Gakpo combining well to deliver crucial goals. West Ham battled hard but lacked the cutting edge, undone by Liverpool's control and late composure in front of goal. West Ham's frustration boiled over late on as Lucas Paquetá was dismissed for dissent, overshadowing an otherwise spirited effort against Liverpool. Paquetá later admitted his ridiculous behaviour was a reflection of the strain he's endured during a 2-year FA investigation, highlighting the psychological toll on players. Nuno Espirito Santo acknowledged the red card but praised his side's fight, noting the emotional backdrop of Billy Bonds passing the same day and the team's desire to honour him. Mateus Fernandes stressed the need for consistency, admitting the sending off made their counter-attacking approach far harder to sustain against Liverpool's quality. With just 11 points from 13 games, despite picking up recently one of their worst starts in Premier League history, West Ham must regroup quickly to avoid being dragged deeper into the relegation battle. Arne Slot made a bold call by benching Mohamed Salah, signalling the start of Liverpool's tactical evolution, perhaps testing life beyond their talisman. Isak ended his goal drought in the Premier League with a sharp finish, while Cody Gakpo added a late second, showcasing the attacking depth that Slot invested heavily in during the summer. Wirtz impressed with intelligent playmaking, and Dominic Szoboszlai moved back into midfield, a more natural attacking role, having been freed from defensive responsibilities. Slot praised his side's defensive solidity, noting, "We got a clean sheet, the other team hardly created a chance after conceding 10 goals in their previous 3 games." Within their second league win since September, Liverpool climbed back into contention, but the looming AFCON absence of Salah means Slot's reshaped front line must continue delivering. Drama at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea hold Arsenal to a 1-1 draw despite playing with 10 men. The first half was tense, with Chelsea creating the better chances through Esteval. The game turned in the 38th minute when Moises Caicedo was sent off after VAR review. Despite being reduced to 10 men, Chelsea struck first, Trevor Chalobah heading in at Reece James's corner. Arsenal responded themselves in the 59th minute, Mikel Merino nodding home Bukayo Saka's cross at the far post. Chelsea continued to push forward with João Pedro and Pedro Neto both going close to restoring the lead. Arsenal threatened through Merino again, but his edge of the box strike was kept out by Robert Sanchez. Chelsea showed resilience and attacking intent even with a man down, creating the clearer chances later on. Arsenal found their equaliser but struggled to break down a determined Chelsea side in a fiery derby. Chelsea impressed despite Moises Caicedo's dismissal, maintaining their intensity and shape for over an hour with 10 men. Captain Reece James excelled as a makeshift midfielder, competing directly with Declan Rice and showing his versatility. Manager Enzo Maresca praised his side's resilience, insisting 11 versus 11 we were better than them, and highlighting their ability to exploit wide spaces. Indiscipline remains a concern. Chelsea collected 4 red cards in 13 league games, the earliest they've reached that tally in a Premier League season. Encouragingly, the Blues have proved that they can cope without Caicedo, but his suspension adds pressure ahead of their midweek trip to Leeds. Arsenal were forced into changes with William Saliba injured, relying on Pierre Hincapié and Christian Mosquera at centre-back, which weakened their usual set-piece dominance. The Gunners conceded from a corner, but Mikel Merino's equaliser once again highlighted his knack for producing vital goals in big moments. Arteta admitted disappointment at not beating 10-man Chelsea, but praised his side's spirit after a demanding week against Spurs, Bayern and Chelsea. Defensive indiscipline was evident with 3 at the back 4 booked, yet Arsenal managed to steady themselves and create late chances to win without Saliba and Gabriel. Unbeaten in a tricky run and 5 points clear at the top, Arsenal showed resilience, proving they can grind out results even when they're below their best. So the table sees Arsenal's lead at the top cut to 5 points. Manchester City's win bringing them closer to the Gunners, but they maintain their 6-point gap over Chelsea after their draw. Aston Villa are in 4th, while Brighton and Sunderland make up the top 6. Down at the bottom, it still leads Burnley and Wolves, but Nottingham Forest and West Ham both failing to win keeps them very much close in relegation contention. If you're looking for more analysis on the Premier League, do check out the Absolute Football Podcast, the Absolutely Premier League show, which is live on YouTube at 8:30, or you can catch the rerun there as well. The link is in the description. The team will be there talking about every game and the big talking points from the weekend. But for me, have a great week, enjoy the football, and I'll catch you on the next one.